Hey everybody, it's Nick. For today's tutorial, I got a demonstration of how to add an occlusion-based material to your Unity scenes. And I'm going to show you a demonstration of that so that you kind of understand what occlusion means. This is a little demo that I made in my dining room, in my living room. My phone's kind of slow, so apologies for the stutter. But you see I made this kind of like bathtub kind of item here. And you can see that in the video, I actually made a model where I kind of forced the edges to show you like where the tub would be in space, but to show you that the actual part that's rendering is just going to be the surface of the water in the tub, and then there's an object that's inside the tub, and you can only see it in augmented reality, if you like approach that water. So you can see that kind of sphere that's inside the tub. And then if I go away, the tub actually like occludes it. That's the idea. Again, if I was really going to do this, these edges wouldn't really appear. I'm just using it to show you that like if I had some geometry that was represented in space by some like slam tech, that again you would only kind of see the surface and what's inside of it. And you could use this effect. I've seen this done in apps where like you kind of have buried treasure that you can put in the floor, or if you have a box that you want to look inside of or something like that. So that's what this technology would be used for. So to start off, this is actually the model that I used. I made this in Studio Max. It is just a box that is inside of a box that I booleaned it out of. And then I took the edges of the box and I created a lattice that I gave a yellow material to. And that's basically just the kind of simple setup for this. What I really want to talk about is how in Unity you can apply a material to this object, which is going to create the occlusion effect. And it's actually like really simple. So what I'm going to do is I've already got that model exported. So I'm going to go into a simple kind of Unity scene. It's not set up for AR. We're not going to worry about that right now. I am going to go ahead and do what I've done before, where I'm going to say I'm going to make a model folder. So I just right clicked or models, I guess, just to like right click and go ahead and make a materials folder. I don't have any textures right now. I've already exported it according to the instructions that I said in the other videos. I'm going to go ahead and go to that model. I've got the Unity kind of tub, model that I exported. I'm going to throw that into the models folder. And if I look at it, it's already got the kind of materials set up. I go ahead and make sure I go to materials and say extract materials, put those into my materials folder. And then I'm going to go back here to the tub. And then I'm going to make sure that those materials that I have go into those settings. I think it's actually just fine. I think all that works. Okay, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and take that tub asset, place it in the scene at, let's just go ahead for now and throw it in at 0, 0, 0. It is a tub, and so you probably want to make the Y whatever that distance is if you wanted it to actually position itself at a tub, height. That's kind of up to you. You can see that though. And then if I got my scene camera, I'm just going to go ahead and get near that tub there. Close enough. Okay. Again, this is actually meant for AR, but okay. So then if I go into the material settings here, if I go, this is the material that is set up for the tub itself. And what you want to do is just go to the shader up at the top here, and you're going to change that shader. If I go to, let's see here, you can go up to that, and actually, if you can't find it, which I always have trouble with, just type in occlusion, and that should show up. And then if you look at that, so now that's all that there is here. There's no color or anything. That's it. And if we zoom in, we can see that there's nothing inside of it, but then there is actually some kind of thing. And if you wanted to, what I did in the demo was I just made a sphere inside of it. So if I just go right click here and say create 3D object sphere, and let's take our sphere for a bath. I'm gonna go ahead and make that 0.5, 0.5, and you could model this in Studio Max. It's not that big of a deal to have that in there, in your model. So I'm gonna put that sphere inside the tub there. Let's go back to kind of 3D here. All right. So then if I go into my camera, let's see if I can do this. Yeah. It's not gonna let me. orbit right now. Hang on a minute. There we go. Oh, because I'm in the wrong. Okay, hang on a second. Pause that. Okay, let's go back to 3D. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and we're gonna look at our camera view. Let's see if I can't orbit around there. It's not working for me right now. Anyway, in any case, that's how you get the effect. If you go ahead and export that with your augmented reality camera, you can see, that's inside of it. This black is going to go away. That's the effect that you're going to get when you're working in augmented reality. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you need to set up that occlusion material. Let me try to get. There we go. In my tub here, my sphere is kind of stuck. There we go. Anyway, so that's the effect that you'd get. And again, I did this just so that I could this object here, I could kind of turn that off and say yeah, and that would I guess it's actually built into the tub assembly. But that's the idea. That's what you need to execute it, and that should work for something like this where you're trying to hide an object. I'll show you a little bit later on about how to use that to create a portal effect. It also works for when you're trying to do an interior environment and you're creating walls that you want to like occlude, so that you can kind of simulate wayfinding on the floor or other kinds of objects in a real physical space. That's a way to kind of create like occlusion, right? If you have that geometry modeled. So anyway, that's all there is to it. Basically, again, just changing the shader from that material from like a material shader to this VR spatial mapping occlusion shader. Like real simple. Okay, go ahead and do that. Again, think about the way that you build your app for AR. All that stuff still applies, but I'm just focusing on the material for now. Yeah, okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will check in with you later.